Hello, Good News TV viewers. We want to share with you the following story of Martha, another beautiful testimony of how the Lord is changing lives through the programming of Good News TV. Perhaps our channel has touched your life too. If so, we'd love to hear from you. Your prayers and your support for Good News TV make it possible for our network to broadcast messages of truth that bring hope and healing through Jesus to our viewers. Thank you.
My name is Marta Vasquez, and I am part of the church family of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. How I got here was in 2015. My husband passed away from lung cancer, so obviously the mourning process began, and I had quite a bit of questions regarding death. Being raised as a Catholic, I went to a couple of priests to get some answers because I was very uneasy about what happens after death. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get the answers, not that I wanted, but that would be comforting for me. They talked about purgatory, and that even scared me a bit more. So in the midst of going through that process of mourning, one day I was flipping through the channels, and I came across Amazing Facts, and behold it, they were talking about death. So obviously it caught my eye. So I stopped and started listening to what Pastor Batchelor was saying, and it was what the answers I really needed to hear at the time. Did the pain stop? Absolutely not. But I was able to start processing my husband's death a little bit more at peace. After that, I began watching every day Pastor Doug Batchelor talk about other series, and I came across the Seventh-day Adventist Church he was talking about, and then he talked about the Sabbath, which was for me new. I had no idea with regards to that was part of the 10 Commandments. So he went through a series, and I started investigating. I'm like, okay, what Christian churches have only services on the seventh day, which is the Sabbath? So I went to several Christian churches here in Yuma, and I could not find any that would do the services on a Saturday, or they would do it on a Saturday and Sunday, and it kind of was conflicting because, well, we're supposed to honor the Sabbath day just like God asked us on the fourth commandment. So started Googling, and I said, oh goodness, I started praying, God, well, I want to be part of that family. I want to be part of that group that honors you with your commandments. So I went ahead and Googled, and sure enough, there was one here in Yuma. I was kind of, wow, surprised, because I would never have thought such a small town. So a week later, I contacted the pastor, and we scheduled something to meet, but we actually met for Sabbath day, and I stayed for the services, and since then I've been part of the church, and it's been a blessing. And it, like I said, originally the reason for me looking into that was because I had lost my husband, but it's been such a blessing to be part of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. So I'm very grateful to God that He allowed me to come across that channel, and that the Pastor Doug Batchelor was actually talking about death, and then he began a series about the Sabbath, so it was a blessing. My upbringing was of being a Catholic, so when I started attending the Seventh-day Adventist Church, they were talking about also what a true baptism was and what a dedication was, so there was a difference. So that being said, I asked the pastor if I could get baptized. So he said, of course. We went through a series of of lessons so that I could actually understand the purpose of my baptism and if I was ready and if I actually wanted to accept the Lord. And sure enough, through the series of those lessons, it just confirmed what I really wanted to be part of God's family. And the fact that He gave His life for me. Just the fact, like I said, that He gave His life for me, the least I could do to is acknowledge Him publicly that He would be part of my life and that He has made such a difference in my life. So that's how I went about the route of being baptized. I've always heard a saying as I was growing up that there's bad things, there's always something good out of a bad thing. So as painful as it was to lose my husband, something beautiful came out of it. It drew me closer to God to the point that I'm part of His family now. So that's how. Amen to that.